Hello students, welcome back to my channel. In the last class we have studied about basic concepts of tax, and now we will study about the basic terms which are very important and are used throughout this text. So these basic terms are very important in order to get thorough with this syllabus. As we are studying tax for the first time in BCom, so it will be very important to know these basic terms, which will help us to get more familiar with the topics. So the most important some basic concepts or basic terms are, like, first one is assessee. Who is the assessee? Assessee means the person who has liability. What liability he has? To pay tax. So assessee means is a person who is liable to pay tax. So according to the act, if the person is earning profits or income or any source of income he is earning in the previous year, and which exceeds the slab of minimum, then he is liable to pay tax. Then such persons are called assessee under section 2 subsection 7. Then next is deemed assessee. Deemed assessee or representative assessee, which means the person who is liable to pay the tax is not the actual person who has earned that income, but as per law he is the deemed assessee. It may be because the minor having that income, so his guardian will be the assessee. So the guardian is deemed assessee or representative assessee. Then next is assessee in default. That means he fails to fulfill his statutory obligations. That means he fails to pay the tax. Then such assessee is called assessee in default. That means he failed to pay the tax. Maybe he has deducted tax at source. So when he deduct tax at source, he should deposit that money to the government. That means he should pay that money to the government. And if he fails to do so, he will be called assessee in default. Next is assessment. Assessment means what? It is a process of computation. That means to calculate. It is a process of calculating. What to calculate? Total income of an assessee. Any assessee is there, his total income has to be computed, calculated in the previous year. That means whatever he has earned in the previous year is to be computed, and determination of tax liability, and then have to determine his tax liability. That means how much he has earned in the previous year, the total income we have to calculate, and then we have to check with the slab, in which slab his income is coming, and according to that his income should be taxed. So we can say that assessment means a process of computing total income of an person, of an assessee, and then according to his income his tax liability is to be calculated. So whatever he is earned in the previous year is calculated and taxed. So whenever the person has his earnings in the previous year, it is calculated and taxed in the assessment year. So assessment year means it is a period of 12 months commencing from first day of April every year. That means from 1st April assessment year starts and coming to the end on 31st March of the next year. Okay, so whenever the person assessed, his income will be calculated on the basis of his previous year's earnings, and then in the assessment year he has been taxed. So in short we can say that financial year in which the income of the previous year is assessed. That means if a person has earnings in the previous year, in the financial year, next financial year, he will be taxed, is the assessment year. So the current assessment year is 2021 to 2022. That means from 1st April 2021 to 31st March 2022. Okay, so now we have to know what is this previous year. Previous year means the financial year immediately preceding the assessment year. That means before that assessment year, the 12 months is that period is his previous year. So whatever he has earned in that previous year will be assessed in the, or he will be taxed in the assessment year. If he says that our assessment year is 2021 to 2022, that is 1st April 2021 to 31st March 2022, then his previous year will be 2020 to 2021. That is 1st April 2022, 31st March 2021. Okay. Then there is some exceptions to the rule. That means as we know that as per rule, it says that whenever the assessee is charged, his income is he has earned in the previous year. So in the previous year he has earned and he will be charged in the next year. But in some conditions, in some situations, the person or the assessee will be charged in the same year in which he has earned that income. For example, a person who is living India, that means he is living from India. So whatever he has earned before leaving India, he has to pay for that. If he is liable to pay tax, he has to pay it before he leave India. So in which year he has earned that income, he will be charged tax on that amount on the same year. Also, income of a discontinued business, profession or vocation. That means if suppose in between the financial year he is dropped that business, so he will be taxed in the same year. So these are some examples which are exceptions to the rule. That means these assessees will be charged in the same year in which they have earned that income. Usually assessees are assessed for their previous year income in the assessment year. Okay. Next we have to know casual income. What is casual income? Incomes which are not recurring is casual income. Recurring incomes like salaries, wages, which we are earning every month regularly. But casual incomes are not we are getting regularly. It is earned by chance or by luck. Someday we get some income like that. So incomes which are not recurring is casual income. We can say some examples like crossword winning, puzzles winning, or winning from lottery, income from card games, etc. Or gambling, betting. Such incomes are not regularly coming. This is earned in non-recurring way or we are winning that bet or gambling, such things by chance only. So incomes which are not recurring is called casual income. Then next we have to know gross total income. What is gross total income of an assessee? That means whatever he has earned according to the provision of the act should be calculated, and also before making that deductions that we will be studying in further classes. Some deductions is given by the law which comes under section 80C to 80U. Such deductions will be granted to the assessee. So before deducting that deductions, the total income is called gross total income. And then we have to know income. What is income? Income, we can say that whatever the person, the assessee, is earning in the previous year. Income includes value of benefits and perquisites. Income includes profit gain of business or profession. Income includes capital gain. Income includes export incentives, interest, salary, bonus, commission, remuneration, winning from lottery, income received from Keyman insurance policy, income received under agreement of not carrying out activity in relation to any business, income or benefits of received from a company, perquisites like such benefits if he receives from the company, voluntary contribution received by an electoral trust, profit and gain from business of banking carried on by a cooperative society. All such incomes are called income under section 2 subsection 24. So whenever the assessee is assessed for the income he has earned, all incomes which he has earned in the previous year and which comes under whatever I have mentioned above will be calculated in order to find out the gross total income. Okay, now we have to know the person who are assessed. So as per section 2 subsection 31, person includes an individual, an HUF means Hindu Undivided Family, a company, a firm, an association of person, a local authority, a body of individual, every artificial judicial person. All such categories comes under person in the act. Okay students, it's time to wind up. Hope you have understood what we have studied till now. If you have any doubts, drop your comments, and if you want any other subjects or any other topics to be covered, please let me know. Thank you.